All right, hey everybody. Thanks so much for tuning in to the WTCF podcast. It's Charlie here and I just want to go through the intention and then kind of give you some updates on the goals that I've been setting for this year. And we'll just cover that pretty quickly. For one, the intention this week has been around the notion if you are tired of starting over, then stop giving up. And two things kind of crossed my mind right away around that one. There's a quote from Mark Twain that reads as, quitting smoking is easy. I've done it a million times. And what kind of reminisced is like, again, you just start over and start over and start over and start over and start over. And again, that part could be really easy. Just start over, fail, start over, fail, start over, fail. And that can get incredibly tiresome. The other thing I started to think of was basically like video games. So something like Super Mario Brothers. So I remember playing that as a youth. And you know what? You can get really good at playing the first level of that game, right? Eventually you play it, you play the first level, you turn it off, you start it up, you play the first level, and you play through as best you can, and then you turn it off and you start over again. And just because you get really good at the first level of a game doesn't mean that you're an expert at the game. So the idea is to be able to progress, to learn different skill sets, to get better throughout the game and kind of tackle new challenges as you go instead of just starting over again. And it's what really kind of reminisced with me on that one, because I've been a big advocate. It's like, hey, if you fail, just start over. But I think there's a few aspects of our own existence where starting over doesn't become the biggest benefit to ourselves. It's kind of picking up where we left off and developing and growing from that mindset instead, saying, okay, yes, I have failed and I have made a mistake here. It's not just to restart, but hopefully I'm going to restart a little bit further out than I did last time, or a little bit further along in the game than I did last time, and be able to progress from that one. Because the idea is to make challenges and get better throughout our entire lives. We don't get to go backwards and like replay levels anymore. Like we've never been able to do that. So we can't go back and replay those things, because we're going to take the things that we learned and continue to proceed at getting better at those things. So hopefully that's something that you can kind of reminisce with or work on. Now that we are getting into our fourth week of the year, here are some updates on just generally just sharing some things. When it comes to my weight loss journey, I am officially down 8 pounds. So I weighed in at 204 this morning. I started this at 218. So I'm averaging about 2 pounds a week. At this point, does make some sense, right? I had a big drop and now it's kind of sustained. I'm not really seeing the same problems I did last time. Last time when I was around this point, I was starving all the time. I get it. I still get hungry, but it's nothing like crazy. So I really like the fact that I'm not going nuts. I'm not waking up in the middle of the night. It also marks 4 weeks of not drinking. So that's been really, really helpful for me. And the other part is my jump training. Again, small victories are awesome. So I used to be able to jump up and on a 10-foot rim, I'd be able to hit my like first knuckle on it. And after a month, I can now hit my second knuckle on it. So hopefully after another month, I'll be able to kind of get my fingertips over the top and physically grab it with a closed fist instead of just kind of gripping the edges of my fingers over it. Because this is new. Like being able to get to that spot is kind of new. And I think it has to do something with losing a little bit of weight and then practicing the movements. So it can absolutely, these things are inevitable at some point to continue to practice. And again, I'm not going to go ahead and restart. The idea is to press forward and double down on some of the things that I can go ahead and get better at. So again, I wake up every day something brand new, and I get to restart in that regard. So I have another opportunity, but I'm not starting over without the knowledge. So I take the knowledge of everything that happened beforehand and everything else that's happened through life to, again, progress a little bit further. And that's all I really got for you guys today. So we'll continue to work on these things. You can get better. If you are working on something, it'd be cool to leave a comment. Again, maybe I'll just kind of like reference this really quickly. I have gotten a whole lot of like hate in this last week for like showing a bicep curl that has a little bit more brachialis and saying, hey, you can have different grips in your bicep curls. And that's all I was getting at. And you would guess like the amount of anger over saying, well, that's forearm training. It's like, well, your brachialis is an honorary bicep muscle. And if you're just doing the same old bicep curls forever, it's okay to change them out once in a while for a different variation. Doesn't really matter. The idea is if you stick with it forever and you're not experiencing any more growth, make a little bit of an adjustment. Try something else out. Start over with something new. So again, it's the ability to kind of take what you learned and progress through that one. And I just thought it was so funny that people got upset, but it was like one of the most viewed things that I'd ever put out there. So I just find it really funny and comical that these people thinking that they're going to put me down. And it does bug me, right? Like I recognize myself as trying to not be a people pleaser anymore when it comes to that. I just want to be able to give good information, and all the stuff on YouTube. This is all free. Like, I want to be able to help people. And if this only helps one person and this changes their life, hell yeah. Like, I did my part. Like, I just want to be able to help somebody out. So again, if you're looking for that kind of help, I'm not too hard to find. So if you do want to go ahead and leave a comment or chat with me about some of those other topics that we discussed, by all means, subscribe, do all the other stuff, message me, and I'll be happy to go ahead and to help you the best of my ability. And on that note, good luck.